October 14, 1979. Milwaukee Union Station. 11:06 p.m. Temperature 39 degrees Fahrenheit. The main concourse was nearly empty. The last southbound train had already left. The janitor on night duty, Leonard Sims, was mopping the tiled corridor by the lockers when he saw her walking calmly, silently, directly toward Platform 3. No suitcase, no purse, just a pale green overcoat, black heels, and a matching green hat that looked like something from another decade. She didn't look lost. She didn't look in a hurry. She looked like she'd been there before. Leonard said he assumed she was meeting someone, or maybe catching the late Greyhound, until he noticed something strange. She never broke pace, never looked up, never even glanced at the schedule board. And when he blinked, she was gone. Number. Door opening, no train, no echo of footsteps. Just gone. At 11:24 p.m., a coat was found, neatly folded. On a bench by Platform 3, a woman's wool coat, pale green. Sitting atop was a matching green hat. And underneath the coat was blood. No one heard a scream. No one saw anyone leave. There were no fresh prints on the bench. No signs of a fight. Just the clothes and the blood. Enough to suggest someone had been badly hurt or worse. Station. Cameras weren't functioning that night. Power box near the security desk had shorted earlier in the day. No footage. No visuals. Just eyewitness accounts that didn't match. One said she had dark hair. Another swore she was blonde. A third said her hat had a feather. It didn't. When shown the same sketch, 3 witnesses disagreed on the eyes. Blue, green, gray. One man said she was smiling. Another said she looked terrified. Police took the items into evidence and sent the blood for testing. No match. No missing persons in Milwaukee or nearby counties fit the description. No wallet, ID, or belongings were found at the scene. Just the coat, the hat, and the blood. In the days that followed, no one came forward. No family, no coworkers. No one looking for a woman in a green hat. Newspapers ran a short article. Mystery woman disappears at Union Station. It didn't make the front page. Police labeled it a potential assault, then an abandoned clothing incident, then dropped the case. No body, no crime, no victim. Nothing to hold on to. Until January 1980. That's when a man from Chicago, Calvin Stroud, came to the station after reading the article in an archived newsletter. He claimed he saw the same woman, or someone just like her, 2 years earlier, at another train station, late at night. She was wearing the same green hat and coat. He remembered because she was standing completely still on the edge of the platform, not looking at the train, not checking her watch, just watching him. And when he turned to report her to a nearby guard, she was gone, disappeared. No sound, no footsteps, just vanished. Police brushed it off as coincidence. Maybe someone wearing a similar coat, maybe a mental projection. But Calvin insisted. He remembered her face, her stillness, her eyes. He said, she wasn't supposed to be there. That's what it felt like. Like the building itself didn't know she was inside it. That line stuck with Detective Eleanor Grant Dodd at the time. She had just joined the Milwaukee Cold Case Unit. Young, focused, skeptical of anything that didn't fit on a form. But the inconsistencies in the green hat woman case bothered her. Number. Matches. No witness consistency. And that hat. That same green hat seen in more than one city, with more than one unexplained disappearance tied to it. In late 1980, Eleanor found something that made her stomach turn. A missing persons case from 1952, St. Paul, Minnesota. A woman disappeared from a rail platform. Witnesses described her as walking calmly into the shadows, wearing a green hat. No sound. No panic. Same description. Same ending. That case had never been solved either. No body. No family. No prints. Just a set of clothes found folded on a bench. Hat on top. Blood beneath dot. And that wasn't the only one. There was another one in 1964. Kansas City, same story. Then again in 1971. Detroit. Each time folded coat. Green hat. Blood. No victim. No answers. Each time, the woman's face was described differently. Each time, the blood couldn't be traced. And each time, there were never more than 3 witnesses. Always unreliable. Always unsure. Eleanor started to dig. Across state lines. Across time. She wasn't chasing a ghost. Not in the supernatural sense, but something real. Someone who left just enough behind to unsettle, but not enough to solve. By early 1981, the Milwaukee case had been officially marked inactive. Eleanor was told to drop it, but she didn't. What kept her up at night wasn't the vanishing. It was the quiet, the precision. Whoever she was, if she was real, she didn't make noise. She left no mistakes. And yet, she kept being seen, repeatedly, in different cities, over decades, unaged, untouched, unconfirmed. And Eleanor knew something else. Every time the green hat woman was seen, someone else went missing. The woman in the green hat Act 2. What she left behind March 2nd, 1986, 7 years after the Milwaukee case. Detective Eleanor Grant was 2 months away from early retirement when a call came in from Chicago PD. It wasn't official. Just a friend on the force who knew Eleanor had once chased a ghost. A woman in a green hat. A familiar case had landed on his desk. Chicago Union Station. A folded green coat. A matching hat. And underneath it, a smear of blood. No ID. No witnesses. No camera footage. It was October 13th, 1985. Almost exactly 6 years to the day since Milwaukee. Eleanor didn't ask permission. She packed a bag, drove south, and walked straight into the Chicago precinct the next morning. She requested access to the evidence. The coat was nearly identical. Same stitching. Same fabric. Slight wear on the right cuff, but newer. The blood underneath tested type A, male. No match in the system. She asked to see the sketches from witnesses. There were 3. All different. Different face shapes. Different hair. The only consistent detail, the green hat. A janitor described her as calm. A ticket clerk said she looked terrified. A woman in the lounge said she was smiling too wide. Eleanor stared at the sketches and knew. It was her. Again, she called it in to Milwaukee. Her old chief told her politely to leave it alone. She was weeks from retirement. Why dig up a case with no solvable outcome? But Eleanor couldn't stop. She went back through the old case files. St. Paul, 1952. Kansas City, 1964. Detroit, 1971. Now Milwaukee in 1979. Chicago in 1985. 5 cities. One pattern. Always the green hat. Always the coat. Always blood. Nobody. She pinned photos on her motel wall. Benches, platforms, hallways. 5 different decades. 5 different stations. But the same scene, like it had been recreated over and over, each time with surgical precision. The same placement of the coat. The hat. In St. Paul, it had been a Tuesday. In Kansas City, a Sunday. Detroit was a Thursday. Milwaukee and Chicago were both Saturdays. The time always between 11 and midnight. Eleanor started plotting dates, alignments, lunar phases. Nothing matched. It wasn't ritual, Dot. It was routine. She went deeper, newspapers, obituaries, old station logs. Every incident followed a pattern. Someone vanished in the same city within 3 days of the sighting. Never the woman herself. Always someone else. Sometimes male, sometimes female. Number, age pattern. But always someone unconnected to the original scene. Dot in Milwaukee. It had been a college student named Donna Cole. Last seen on October 17th. Her roommate thought she was visiting family. She was never found. In Detroit, it was a street performer. Kansas City, a librarian. Eleanor made a chart. She labeled it, witnessed greater than vanished. She sat in the motel for days, barely sleeping, cross-referencing names, dates, train routes. She started to suspect the woman wasn't the one vanishing. She was the one watching, waiting, and when she appeared, it was always a warning. Then she found something she couldn't explain. 5 separate newspaper archives, 5 different cities. And in each one, buried in the background of unrelated stories, was a photo. A crowd at a train station, a local fair, a city council photo op. And in every one, somewhere in the frame, was a woman in a green hat. Sometimes blurry, sometimes faint, but always their Dot in the 1952 photo. She was looking away. In 1964, she was half-turned. In 1971, her face was hidden behind a pillar. In 1979, she was in a window reflection. And in 1985, Chicago, she was looking directly at the camera. Eleanor stared at the final photo for a long time. She made copies, sent them to a contact at the FBI, asked for facial analysis. She wasn't expecting a miracle, but she got something worse. 3 days later, her contact called back. We ran the photos through everything we have. It's the same woman, no doubt. Same bone structure, same dimensions. And not just that, there's no sign of aging. None. It's like the photos were all taken on the same day. Eleanor didn't speak for a while. Then she asked, "Can you tell where the last one was taken? The angle? The building behind her?" He hesitated. "Yeah, that's your precinct. Chicago West Division." "And the date?" "October 12th, 1 day before the hat and coat were found." Eleanor hung up. She looked at the wall. All her notes, all her strings. It had never been about who the woman was. It was about who she watched, and who vanished afterward. And now she had seen Eleanor. The motel camera showed Eleanor leaving at 11:47 p.m. that night. She was never seen again, just her car. And outside Chicago Union Station, in a green hat, folded neatly on the passenger seat. With a single note beneath it. "I see you too."